the new Tesla Model Y Performance. I'm here today at Northampton Tesla to test drive this, the newest addition to the Tesla range. It's obviously very different from the old shape. The front end has got the new light bar and the new headlights down at the bottom there, and a slightly more aggressive front bumper. The wheels are a 21-inch Arachnid wheels. These particular ones have aero caps, these plastic inserts, which can be taken off if you don't like the design and not care about the slight increase of range. This is in the optional red, but it does come with the standard grey, free of charge. So what else is different about this new Tesla Model Y? So yes, you've got the difference of the front end, you've got the new wheels, of course the performance brakes with the red calipers, but the rear really is the masterpiece in my opinion. We've got a new rear carbon spoiler, which is slightly angled at the top there, looking very smart indeed, and the new rear light bar at the back here, which really adds to the aggressive look of the Tesla Model Y. Not to mention this pretty epic rear diffuser, and of course a rather new badge which you've probably seen before. So much is the same as the Tesla Model Y inside. However, we've got these new sports seats, which you'll recognise from the new Tesla Model 3 Performance, with the addition of extra thigh support, which can be adjusted. Something that a few people were moaning about. So that is a new addition to the car. Finally out of the wind. Wow, it's windy out there today. So what else is different inside? We've got the carbon inlays and the carbon dash piece at the top here. So to the untrained eye, and a lot of people that might not have done the research, the screen is actually bigger. Instead of 15.4 inches, it's actually 16 inches. Size counts, right, when it comes to screens. And this is only found on the Tesla Model Y L, which we don't get in this country, but it's a very high definition screen. The rest of the interior is much the same, so I'm not going to focus on that because I just want to focus on the performance aspects of this car, because there's loads of videos online about the long range and the standard range, and I'll come to the actual specification in terms of performance and range in a minute. So on the performance, we've got the chill, standard and insane mode. Not only that, but you also have the ride and handling, standard and sport. Now, to someone like me who likes to do long journeys and have comfort, you've got that standard mode where the dynamic suspension, which is apparently new, newer than the Model 3 Performance one, is nice and soft, nice and supple, but you can put it into the sport mode, and if you want to have a little bit of fun down the back roads, etc., you can. You don't have to worry about upgrading suspension, and I really like that. A bit of a Jekyll and Hyde sort of mode, if you like. As people will know, you've got the indicator stalk, which you don't have on the Model 3 new shape. However, apparently they're bringing that back. You don't have the drive stalk on the right hand side. You have to either use these to go forwards and backwards, or there is, I believe, a way that you can do it up here as well. Now, a lot of people are put off by the Tesla because of the look. You know, there's no buttons here. I think that people that don't like the minimalist design and the big screen on the Tesla are forgetting one thing. We don't live in the noughties anymore. We don't have BlackBerry phones or Nokias. You know, we all have smartphones. Do we have any buttons on smartphones? No, we don't. And is it easy to use? Yes, it is easy to use. So when you're putting it in drive, you got the speed up there. You know, when you're driving, it's literally right there. It's perfect. You don't need it in front of you. I've driven a lot of cars and I've been driving Teslas for 3 years now, and I love it. And I wouldn't go back to anything else until I find something better, which we'll come on to in a video soon. But you know, you've got heater controls here. What you can do with the buttons is you can choose your favorite icons, put them down here so they're nice and easy to access. So people that say, oh, you know, there's no buttons, I don't have an issue with that. I think it's just the fact that people are a little bit stuck in the past. That's just my opinion, and I wouldn't want to go back to loads of buttons. So let's start talking about the specification of this car. So yes, you've got the pan roof, you've got adaptive cruise control, side assist standard, you've got all the heated seats, you've got adaptive suspension on the performance model, everything you could wish for, really. Is there anything else you'd want? Maybe Apple Play or Android Auto. This particular car has a WLTP mileage of 360 miles. It's only about 7 miles down from the long range version, which is amazing because this car is a little bit heavier at just a smidge over 2 tons. However, the fact that they've managed to get that so close to the long range is amazing, because you'd normally think performance model will be a lot less, but it's not. The 0 to 60, I've seen claims of anything from 3.3 up to 3.5. This does depend on the heat in the battery and also the state of charge of the battery, so what percentage your battery's at. It's actually 1.3 seconds quicker than the long range car. Not to mention that this car has a new high performance battery pack with better power density. It's got a total 82 kilowatt hour battery pack and usable 79 kilowatt hours. So 360 miles WLTP. Now there are people that can get that mileage, like Kevin Booker, who's on our YEV podcast every week on Sunday. He'll tell you all about it. Me, on the other hand, realistically, it does look like I would definitely get over 300, even in the winter. It puts out 461 kilowatts, which is about 100 brake more than the previous Tesla Model Y performance. And just like the new Model 3 performance, it's actually got the wider tyres at the back. One thing that they haven't updated since my old 6-year-old Tesla Model 3 long range is the speed of the charging. So it still does 250 kilowatt DC charging, which is still great, but bearing in mind they were doing it 6 years ago on my old Model 3, I would hope that they would want to update that. And it is still running the 400 volt architecture rather than the 800 volt. So cars like the Ioniq 5 and maybe the MG IM5 will charge quicker. But then again, how quick do you need to charge? Because I never really need anything quicker than I've already got. Now I'm going to get to the really interesting stuff for all you Tesla nerds out there. So some people might know that the new Tesla Model 3 performance in the UK is down on power compared to the US version. And this is because in the UK and Europe we've got the LG battery, and America they've got the Panasonic battery, and the Panasonic one is more power dense. It's not the case with the Model Y performance. It has got that high power energy. I don't know what the actual battery is. I would guess it's an LG. If you know, then whack it in the comments, or if I find it, I'll pop it down at the bottom. Let's take it for a smooth drive and then get a bit aggressive. Right, so I have got my seat nice and comfortable. All the mirrors are in the right place. So it's time to make a move and go for a spin. Still not used to this weird kind of pushing thing. There are companies out there that do retrofit stalks on the new Model 3. I'm guessing they do them on the Model Y as well. So I've got it in standard everything. Standard acceleration, standard deceleration, standard handling, just to see what it's like just driving normally. Even in standard mode, it really has got a punch to it. So I'm not sure if I'd put it in insane mode all the time. But the standard suspension is really comfortable, and we all know how bad the roads are in the UK. But let's take it on some country roads and really see how this car performs. Right, let's see what it's like in standard mode at a bit more speed. Yeah, the suspension in standard mode is really comfortable. Feels sharp, but comfortable at the same time. It feels extremely agile. And bearing in mind that it is just a smidge over 2 tons. That's a lot lighter than a lot of the cars out there in its same class, whether it's electric or petrol. It does inspire confidence, this car. Even in standard mode, it feels good. And the brakes work really well too. Right, I'm going to turn it into insane and sport mode. So insane on the performance and sport on the suspension. Let's do a UE, see how easy this is with the funky controls. Yeah, I still use my mirrors. I'm a bit old school, but the cameras are really nice and sharp. Much sharper than the previous shapes. There we go. God, it's so clear. So I'm going to have to change this. No, it's not going to let me change it into colour mode, but normally you'd have a nice colour mode on the Google Maps as well. So yeah, you feel a little bit more with the dynamic suspension. It'd be interesting to take the same road the other way to see what the performance and also the type of ride in this sport mode is like. Hit it. Flipping heck. Okay, that is insane. That was quick. Jeez. Okay, I've got a big smile on my face now. Oh yeah, it feels good. I think we'll have to leave it in insane mode. Let's just do a quick 0 to 60. So you put your foot on the brake and the pedal. You're supposed to be launch mode. There we go, ready to launch. It was counting, I won't. I mean, I don't think I'll put it in launch mode because you can just stamp on the accelerator and I don't think there's really that much difference. Let's just take it down to sort of 40 miles an hour. There we go. And nail it. Wow, yeah, that's good. I mean, from overtaking, get yourself out of trouble. I think it's fine. Oh, I really want to go down this left way. Hopefully it's not too slippy. And we'll see what the suspension's like. Bearing in mind this still has got track mode, so if you want to, you know, play around with the traction control, etc., or take it on track, you can. And that tells you the heat of the battery and loads of other features, which is only on the performance, and you can't retrofit it. Because trust me, I've tried on my long range Model 3. It's a good job my wife's got a Model 3 performance really. And that's done 225,000 miles, 3.5 years old, on the same battery and motors. So check out this video up here to check out that story of where I bought it from auction, the cheapest in the country. Now, rather than changing in the settings between the different dynamics, because I'm going to put it back into standard now. I know you can do it on my Model 3, where you can just do it from these controls, so you don't have to fanny around with the screen. I mean, still in standard mode, it's got plenty of performance, plenty. Obviously, you'd leave it in insane mode, right? Obviously. God, I've got to put it back in insane mode, haven't I? Really? Let's not be silly about this. Sport, see what it's like out of this. Didn't take long, did it, to get to 60 there? No scrabbling of grip. The computers worked as they should. I wonder what it's like without the traction controller. I don't think I can put it in track mode. I'm sorry, guys. Who wants to see me drift this? If I could borrow yours, that'd be great. When you buy one, of course. So I've got it in autopilot now. Be interesting to see how it tackles the roundabout. Now I've got full self-driving on my 6-year-old Tesla Model 3 and autopilot on our 22 plate. I'm just really interested to see what it does at the roundabout. Because as far as I'm concerned, it will pretty much poop itself. What are you going to do, Tesla? Oh. Okay, I'm slight applying of the... Shut up. Wow. Okay, go on, speed up then. Okay, well it did it, and then it had a little cry or celebration of coming to a stop. So it kind of did the roundabout, and then I was so elated the fact that it did it, and then it slowed down. Oh well. Live in it. Round the corner, let's go. Oh wow, yeah! That was good. That was not understeery at all. That was just, yeah.
Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah, I think if it was me, I'd probably leave it in standard suspension and insane mode. Because when are the roads ever good enough for sport suspension? And I hasten to add, when I went round that corner, it was in standard suspension mode. Here we are, back at Tesla. Okay, so it does put the park on for you. That's pretty neat, because normally I'd be pressing the button. So yeah, I got on all right with that. Now comes the verdict. What was good, what was bad, and what was ugly? So what was good? I love the design of the car, love the new lights, I love the rear, love the new wheels. The screen is definitely bigger, it's a lot clearer. I love the adaptive suspension. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things. What was I worried about? You know, still I'm not used to the controls for drive, park, etc. But I was actually starting to get on with it okay, so I'm sure if I drive it a bit more, it'd be absolutely fine. It's got the indicator stalk. That's one thing I didn't like about the new Model 3, but apparently they're putting that back on. Well done, Tesla. What didn't I like? I'm not an SUV guy. I prefer the Model 3. However, some people want a good all-round car. So the missus is happy, SUV, hatchback, etc. Or you might need the extra space. And go and look at other videos for the practicality of this car. So I kind of get why this would appeal to a lot of people. And you see a lot of performance SUVs on the road. So why would you buy this one over and above, you know, the other models out there? I think for the price, it's actually really good value for the performance, for the spec. Bearing in mind, you know, you can put options on like full self-driving, different paint, tow bar, roof bars, that sort of thing. But yeah, just the technology, you just can't beat it. And obviously the Tesla supercharged network, if you're doing a lot of miles, it's a complete no-brainer to have a Tesla. And you've got the cheaper charging. It's like anything from 25p up to 50p. And if you charge anywhere else, you've got pretty much double that, anything from like 70p up to £1. Plus, they're not all ultra rapid chargers, but Tesla, you can be confident that it's going to work for you. So a lot of positives there. What didn't I like? I haven't shown you the screen. Actually, the screen is on all of them. So it's on all the Model Ys, etc. And the new Model 3. What didn't I like? What didn't I like? Let me have a think. Right, I've thought of something. They need to put a blind on this. Although there are aftermarket kits you can get, which I'm sure it will fit this one because it fits the old shape. And this is essentially based on a similar car, but lots of upgrades. So yeah, they need a sunshade here, or something that goes darker like some of the new tech out there at the moment. So I don't like that, but I don't know I don't like that until you live with a Tesla. So that's just from my experience. I mean, it's got a cavernous boot. This can all be wound back. People always forget that it's absolutely huge down there. So people that think, oh no, the boot's not that big. You look at how much storage space is down there, it's crazy. You can even fit a fridge in there, and you can actually get one. Something that I just noticed, it's got a really cool new screen that comes on. That's pretty cool. Let's open the bonnet. See what's under the hood. Must be a V8 Hemi or something. Oh no, yeah, decent size there as well. There we have it. The new Tesla Model Y Performance. I think I'd have it on my driveway. But now I said the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what is the ugly? It's the old shape one, isn't it? I'm sorry to say. The old shape Tesla Model Y is not a pretty car. The performance that we passed before, the Y, that was all black. That did look quite good. And you can modify them to look better. And this is what this channel is all about. Modified EVs, EV conversions, and the odd test drive thrown in when there's something exciting coming on the market. There we go, on charge for the next person. There's one thing that I just don't get. The Top Gear video presenter said it was a mild facelift. Whatever. If you've liked the content so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And we've got loads of cool videos on the Chargeheads channel and a podcast every week. So go and check it out. And also hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and whack a comment in there. It'd be great to hear from you.